Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, June 24th, and time for my daily reflection. It's been a difficult day today. I've been a little off. It starts with my morning routine, which always means coming into the office and opening the emails and receiving information. Every Wednesday, I receive an email newsletter from our synod. It always contains an article by either the bishop or one of his associates, and then all sorts of other important bits of information to know about. This morning, a thought of mine was either confirmed or just out there for the first time. It's from one of the articles in the newsletter, entitled, "A Word from Our Synod Staff About Congregational Visits." Let me read it to you. Dear rostered and congregational leaders in our Sierra Pacific Synod, members of our Synod staff have recently received requests for being present with congregations as they begin worshiping in person. As previously stated with you, we are encouraging congregations not to begin in-person worship before July 31st. That counsel stands and will likely be extended into at least September, given the latest reports of the rising number of cases of COVID-19 being diagnosed in both California and Nevada, and concerns being expressed by health officials for limiting public gatherings. For the time being, our Synod staff members will only be available for online gatherings or sermons. Should you wish to arrange for such a visit, please contact the Synod office. Peace, Bishop Mark, Pastor Katie, Pastor Tita. Those are the three executive members of the Synod staff. As I was reading, I thought, well, that's a little premature, isn't it? I wondered how many congregations are worshiping in person already. And then I had a different assumption. It was people asking to get on the calendar of Synod staff when they resumed in-person worship. That's a better thought, I reasoned. It was in the middle line, however, of this announcement that caused me to sit up and take a deep breath. Like many of you, I've wondered when we would return to in-person worship, even with all the changes we would need to make. Would we hold more than 2 services on a Sunday to allow for all of you to worship? Might we include a Saturday night worship time? Our reopening task force is offering an update via the July Horn, which you'll be able to read later this week or early next week. But I'm going to let one cat out of the bag from that report. We are looking at a better way to continue our virtual worship services. Jesse Alice, J.D. Hoskins, and I are reviewing cameras, which will be a major step up from the iPad that we currently use. Chris Holmes and I are evaluating a microphone for me to use so that my loud voice is even louder for Sunday worship. I've heard a number of you are having trouble hearing me in the sermon time. That's all good news, I believe. But again, it was that middle sentence. Quote, "That counsel stands and will likely be extended into at least September, given the latest reports of the rising number of cases of COVID-19 being diagnosed in both California and Nevada, and concerns being expressed by health officials for limiting public gatherings." It was a reinforcement of my own concern, my own worry. I know the numbers are rising. Solano County is inching closer to that 1,000 case number. And while deaths from COVID-19 in our county are still around 25, under 30 for sure, that's good news. But indeed, better availability to testing means that we will discover more people are testing positive, and I don't think we'll ever know how many folks were tested with a negative result. But I hope and pray that that number is much larger. Nevertheless, it is the positive numbers, the positive results, the cases of COVID-19 that matter most at this moment in time. It does get unnerving to realize all the steps that are in place, and yet we still cannot get this pandemic under control. It's driving us rather than us driving it. It was demonstrated for me on Monday afternoon when I went to my dentist to have a cavity filled. This appointment was originally scheduled for the end of March, but you know what happened. And having played golf in the morning, I took a shower and headed to my appointment. I clearly know the rules. It's been told to me 3 or 4 times. When I get there, I'm supposed to call while I'm still in the parking lot. I'm to put on my mask, so thank you, Rebecca, for giving me a mask to wear. Walk to the door where a staff member would greet me and take my temperature. Well, guess what? I failed the temperature test. I was too hot. I've never been told that I was hot before. So the staff member says to me, let's stand over here in the shade for a bit and see what happens. After a failed 3rd test, she decides to bring me into the air-conditioned waiting room. I like that idea a lot better. And then I passed. I did wonder if I was coming down with something, however. After getting my cavity filled and as I'm leaving, I stopped at her desk and I said, would you do me a favor and test me once more, holding my hair up so that she could put the thermometer near my forehead. She said, oh, you're cool. I like that. I like to be a cool guy. But what if I've been wearing my mask whenever I go outside lately? When I head into the golf course clubhouse, grocery store, post office, credit union, when I walk Novak, my mask is on. I said it on Sunday in worship. It's not my favorite thing to do. I don't like the mask. But I do realize the difference when I wear one in the shop. And since I do like breathing and not coughing so much, I'll continue to wear my mask in the shop and Rebecca's mask while I'm out in the public. As one Facebook post shared it earlier, wear your mask now or get ready to homeschool your kids next year. I guess it's choices we make. And that's the big piece, isn't it? A choice. Do we choose to be proactive? Do we choose to be healthy? Do we choose to be uncomfortable for ourselves so that others might be comfortable in the long run? When will it end? I don't know. I wish I did. I wish I had a magic wand that would tell me, or that God would send me a text, an email, or whisper in my ear some night. I just know that all we need to do is keep following these rules, these guidelines, whether we like them or not, so that collectively our lives can continue to be spared and to be better. So I suspect that by tomorrow I'll be feeling a little bit better, but I'll still be wondering about no worship in person until September. Wow. Hard words for me to hear and to say. But in the meantime, I'll look forward to seeing you on Sunday. So please remember, do those important steps. Wash your hands 2 or 3 times a day, 20 seconds at a time. Put on hand lotion so that they're nice and soft when you're being held by somebody else. Stay home if you're sick. Love one another. Practice the important physical distancing 6 feet apart. Wear your mask. And of course, as Sergeant Esterhaus dismissed me this morning from my house to come to the office, and now as he's dismissing me to go home, be careful out there.